So I'm taking frames from my dead outs and filling the nuke boxes. It's real easy to think, oh, I don't need to take any frames, I got what I need there, but you have to replace what you take out or you end up with a mess. So boxes don't go to and from the apiary without specific reason that aren't full, because if you're trading things out, you're going to need to replace. So I'm going through and pulling some out and finding some things that I wanted to show you. So like this frame right here, they're up here in the sun, honey frame, except they didn't get it dry enough, and so it started to ferment, and that's why it's weeping. You can see it's wet and weeping. You can see all the moisture down in here. These are just full of real liquidy juice, because when it ferments, eats the sugars down. So you can see how the caps are up here where it's capped and it's good, where they got it dry enough. The caps are down. Where you see these caps raised like that, that's because it's been fermenting and creating gas under there. So as it creates that CO2 gas and lets it out, and the oxygen doesn't get to it, it turns it into alcohol. If you can let oxygen get to it, it will become vinegar. And so as it's making the alcohol, it's creating CO2, which is not good for bees. Puts them to sleep. Eventually it'll kill them if it's enough. So some of these that I want to put in, have them clean up, I'm going through and just raking my hive tool across it. Anything that's sticking up is going to poke a hole in it, right? It's going to tear that capping off, and you can hear them tearing. It won't tear the honey ones. As I go across them, it doesn't do anything. But the ones that are mounded up and creating a problem, I get broke loose. Now, like I said, that's not as thick as it was when they put it in there. You know, at that time it was probably 19–20%, and it stayed good for quite a while. But then as it started to thin, as the sugars were eaten, it's gotten liquidy. So then I want to get it out of there. I don't want it running into the colonies. So I hit them upside down. I can do it on the tractor tire, works really well too, because remember the cells are pointed down, so things stay in them. So if you tip it upside down and bang it, you can get a lot of that juice to run out of there. And in so doing, dry the frame out and not allow it to keep fermenting. So I'm going to be, putting these in the colonies that are staying, not in the nukes. They're going in the nukes to get over there, but eventually they go into the main colony. So they'll be able to clean those up with the dry weather we've got and things. And I found, some of their boxes that they had those in the bottom, and that they were weeping and making moisture problems, as I went through them. So it's just something to keep an eye out, know what's going on. All of that looked like capped honey isn't capped honey. And it's going to set the bees back if it goes in the way it was. So anyway, I'm trying to do some work for them. I get these things loaded up and over there, and then we'll put some bees in the boxes.